Good morning, dear friend. Thank you for being here in this quiet moment of the new day. Each morning carries a special kind of energy, like a curtain gently lifting as the world begins to breathe again. The morning does not demand strength from us, nor does it ask us to be perfectly ready right away. It simply invites us to open our eyes, feel the first touch of light, and step into the day at our own pace. And right now, I am grateful that you chose to pause for a few minutes to nourish your heart. Every morning is a new doorway. Not a loud or grand doorway, but a small one, just enough for you to place an intention, a gentle thought, a quiet whisper for yourself. No matter what yesterday looked like, no matter what thoughts still linger this morning here, in this moment, you are standing in front of the chance to color your entire day. You do not need to know what will come. You only need to choose how you begin. The morning is like the moment your heart returns to its true rhythm. A little slower, a little softer, a little clearer. When we begin the day with full presence, the rest of the day is guided by that stillness. Not a stillness that separates us from the world, but a stillness that helps us move through the world with steadiness. So before you step into your list of tasks, before your mind gets pulled away by noise and rush, give yourself this small gift, a few minutes to come back to your inner space. And if your morning feels heavy, know that it is completely okay. Humans are not made to be ready all the time. We are beings with rhythms, moments of opening and moments of closing. What matters is not how fast you begin today, but that you begin with honesty. In this gentle space, I invite you to see the morning as a mirror. It does not reflect what you have not done. It reflects your ability to begin again. Every day can become a new version of life if you allow it. And this morning, simply by sitting here listening and opening your heart, you have already taken the first step. We will walk through this morning together, one breath at a time, one soft thought at a time, one slow step at a time. This is a moment for you, for the light within you, for the soul you sometimes forget in the busyness of life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing peace at the very beginning of your day. Before we go deeper into this morning, I want to invite you to give yourself a very small moment. A moment where you do not have to do anything, do not have to try, you only need to breathe. Inhale softly as if you are inviting light into your whole body. Hold it for one gentle beat. Then exhale slowly as if you are placing down everything you no longer need to carry. Let your breath move in its natural way, without forcing it, without expecting anything. You are simply watching yourself live, watching yourself be here. Each time you breathe in, you allow your mind to open a new space. Each time you breathe out, you allow yourself to become a little lighter. Morning is a time when the body is very honest. It tells you where you are and what is happening inside you. Some days your breath will feel spacious and soft. Some days it will feel tighter and more shallow. However it feels, you do not need to judge it. Breath is simply breath. It faithfully brings you back to yourself. Inhale slowly and let your mind follow the gentle flow of that air. Feel that you are entering the new day with awareness, instead of habit or worry. Exhale lightly and let whatever pressure remains from yesterday slide off your shoulders. Slowly, without rushing. Each breath is a step toward yourself. Each breath is a reminder that peace is not something far away. It can begin within you. Morning is the time when the mind can be carried away by its first thoughts. But when you choose to breathe consciously like this, you place yourself in the seat of the one who leads, not the one who is pulled along. If you want, you can place your hand on your chest and feel the heartbeat within. It is a reminder that you are alive. You have another day to love, to learn, to heal, to grow. You do not need to know everything ahead. You only need to be present in this breath. We often think morning must be fast, busy, decisive. But sometimes, what you truly need for a grounded beginning is just 3 or 4 slow breaths. They do not change your circumstances, but they change your inner state. And when the inside shifts, everything outside becomes easier to walk through. So now I want to ask you one thing. This morning, what is your body saying to you? What is your mind needing? Can you feel that simply by breathing you have already made yourself lighter? Thank you for being here in this moment. Your presence makes this morning feel much more complete. Morning is often seen as the freshest moment of the day, but the truth is not every morning feels light. There are days when you open your eyes and the first feeling is not energy or excitement, but a bit of tiredness, a bit of confusion, a sense of not being ready yet. And that is completely normal. No one wakes up every single day in perfect spirits. We all carry unfinished stories, drifting thoughts, emotions that have not been named. Sometimes it is a quiet worry from yesterday. Sometimes it is a decision without an answer. Sometimes it is tension you do not want to bring along, but it is still there. Morning does not blame you for that. It does not ask you to be strong right away. It gently reminds you that you have one more day to take things step by step, to rearrange, to breathe a little more, and to face everything with kindness toward yourself. Maybe you have had mornings when you opened your eyes and felt like you were falling behind, or mornings when you felt like you were running without knowing where you were going. Those feelings do not make you weak. They simply show that you are human, that you are alive, that you are sensing life. Feeling heavy at times does not mean you cannot move forward. In fact, those are the mornings when you need gentleness with yourself the most. Morning has something very special. It offers you the chance to reset the rhythm of your day. No matter how difficult yesterday was, no matter how late you slept or how restless the night felt, the moment the light touches your eyes this morning, you are standing at a new beginning. Not perfect but real. Not dazzling but enough. You do not need to become the best version of yourself the moment you wake up. You only need to be honest with the state you are in. If you feel tired, acknowledge it. If you feel confused, breathe a little deeper. If you feel a bit empty, give yourself time to refill. No emotion is wrong. No morning is a failure. Every morning is simply a reminder that you have the right to begin again, no matter where your mood is on the map of feelings. And in that very imperfection, sometimes you find your strength. Strength is not always being fine. It is the courage to look gently at what is true inside you without running away. This morning you do not need all the answers. You do not need to know the whole path. You only need to acknowledge that you are here and you are beginning. That alone is enough for the new day to open a little light for you. This morning I want to plant in you a very small thought, one that carries a quiet power and can shape the way you walk through the whole day without much effort. It is this simple idea: you do not need to do anything grand to show commitment to yourself. A small choice, as long as it is honest, is enough to begin a gentle stream of positive movement. We often think change begins with strong decisions, with high energy days, with clear turning points. But the truth is different. Change usually begins in a very quiet moment, like a seed just placed into the soil. Morning is the perfect time to plant that seed. The mind is still clear, still soft, still open to being guided. The thought for today is presence. Simply being with yourself, even for 5 or 10 seconds. Even if all you do is admit where your heart is right now. Even if all you do is notice an emotion you usually ignore. Presence does not ask you to be strong. It only asks you to be true. And truth is what touches the human heart the deepest. Think about it. How many times in a day do you move through everything on autopilot without knowing how you truly feel? How many times do you keep going even when something inside you is pulling you back? How many times do you tell yourself you are fine while your body says otherwise? This morning you can change that. You can begin with a gentle sentence: I am here. I do not need to be right. I do not need to be perfect. I only need to be present. This thought is powerful because it frees you from the pressure to do something big right away. It brings you back to the starting point, a place where you are not measured by productivity or achievement, but by your honesty with yourself. When you are present, you listen to yourself better. You choose more softly. You are not carried away by outside noise. You begin to live instead of merely getting through the day. Let this thought stay with you like a thin breeze. When you drink water, be present. When you step outside, be present. When someone speaks to you, listen with a heart that is slightly open, not completely, just a little. Commitment to yourself is not a loud promise. It is a small choice, repeated each day. I choose to be here with myself. If you begin your day with presence, the rest of the day will rarely pull you into chaos. You will not have to run after the rhythm of the world. You will create a rhythm of your own. You will not need to be stronger than others, only soft enough to hear yourself. And sometimes that alone is the greatest gift you can give to your morning. There is something very simple, yet deeply influential about the direction your day will take. It is the way you begin your morning in your mind. The morning mind is like a clear glass of water. Whatever you drop into it first will color the rest of the day. If it is haste, you will spend the day chasing the pace of others. If it is worry, you will find small things turning into burdens. But if you place a bright, gentle, intentional thought into your morning, it becomes an anchor that guides you back whenever the day grows chaotic. The law of the mind for today is simple. What you choose to believe first becomes your guide for the entire day. You can believe that today will be difficult, and your mind will search for evidence to prove that belief. But you can also believe that today is an opportunity to live more softly, to move more slowly, to approach everything with a gentler heart. When you hold a belief that's simple, your mind naturally looks for moments that affirm it. That is the power of the law of the mind. Morning is not the time to solve every problem, but it is the time to set the foundation for how you will face them. If that foundation is steady, your day will not be easily shaken. If that foundation is clarity, you will see everything with wider eyes. If that foundation is peace, you will respond from awareness instead of reacting from habit. Think about this. When you begin the day with a soft thought, like I want to be present with myself today, or I choose to let things move at their natural pace, your mind becomes clearer like a window, just wiped clean. You see things more clearly without the fog of worry settling over them. This is not magic. This is choice. A choice to place a bright seed into your mind before anything else enters. The law of the mind also reminds us that you cannot control everything that will happen today, but you can control how you step into it. You can control the inner tone. You can control the first thing you say to yourself. And that alone can change so much. This morning you can choose one light belief to rest on. Something like, I am calm enough to handle things at my own rhythm, or I can create space for myself, even in busy moments, or simply I allow myself to move slowly. Choose one and let it guide you. You do not need to repeat it many times. Just hold it in your mind like a small light. When you begin the day with brightness, you carry that brightness into every small thing. You meet people with more softness. You handle work with more clarity. You feel yourself with more compassion. And all of it begins from this simple law of the mind. What you plant in the morning will blossom throughout the day. This morning, I want to invite you to do something very small, so small that it might seem simple, yet it has the power to reset the entire energy of your day. This action needs no tools, no preparation, and no perfect mood. You only need yourself. And you only need 1 second. Place your hand on your chest, right where you can feel your heartbeat. Close your eyes if you want. Take a gentle inhale and a slow exhale. Then whisper to yourself a simple sentence. I choose to slow down. I choose to be present with this day. You do not need to say it loudly. You do not need to create a strong emotion. You only need to say it with honesty. This tiny act helps you return to the quiet place within before the day pulls you into its noise. 1 second with your hand on your chest, acknowledging your own presence, is how you remind your mind that you are living with awareness, not just reacting. It is like placing a spiritual anchor into your morning so that no matter what happens later, you remember that you began with calmness. When you choose presence, everything you do after softens a little. You react less from tension and more from clarity. You do not get swept into the pace of others as quickly. And most importantly, you give yourself the sense of being seen and heard by your own heart. Mourning does not need grand gestures. It needs one small action, small enough that you cannot avoid it, but meaningful enough to shift your inner state. So let me ask you something. When you placed your hand on your chest this morning, what did you feel? What signal was your body sending you? Did your mind grow a little quieter? And what emotion opened up when you gave yourself just 1 second? Whatever your answer is, I want you to know it is completely right for you in this moment. No fixing, no avoiding, only noticing. Thank you for being present and honest with yourself through this simple act. Your presence makes this morning feel much more whole. This morning, while your mind is still clear and the world is slowly opening, I want to invite you into a gentle prayer. Not a prayer to ask for anything grand, but a soft whisper to realign the energy within you. Close your eyes if it feels right. Take a slow breath in and a soft breath out. And if you want, let these words become the quiet voice inside you. This morning, I ask to become lighter. I ask for the noise from yesterday to loosen its hold on my mind. I ask for my heart to soften a little, so I can receive whatever comes today without reacting too quickly. I ask for clarity to see things with wider eyes and for peace so I am not pulled into what does not belong to me. I ask for the strength to stay still when my heart wants to run, to loosen my grip, when my mind wants to tighten, to trust the natural rhythm of life instead of trying to control every detail. This morning, I ask for the courage to live honestly with my feelings without hiding, without avoiding. I ask to remember that I do not need to be strong all the time. Some days, softness is part of the journey. I ask for calm in the face of what I cannot predict and gentleness toward the parts of me that are still learning to heal. I ask to remember that one small step is enough to begin again. I do not need to complete the whole path, I only need one bright step. I ask for my heart to choose what is true for me, to open when it needs to open, to close when it needs to protect itself. I ask for humility to keep learning and patience to let things unfold without forcing them to move too fast. I ask for what I do not understand today to become clear at the right time. I ask to trust that I am being guided in ways I may not see yet. And I ask for this morning to become the beginning of a whole day, not perfect but peaceful. I place here my small worries. I place here the things I cannot control. I place here the parts of me that still feel tangled. May my mind become brighter, my path softer, and my words warmer. May I live with presence instead of chasing urgency. Finally, I give thanks for the new day opening before me. Thank you for the breath that allows me to begin again. Thank you for the opportunities I have yet to see and the small gifts coming my way. This morning, I choose peace. I choose clarity. I choose myself. This morning, now that your breath is softer and you have come back to yourself a little more, I want to offer you a gentle blessing. A blessing like the first touch of sunlight resting on your shoulder, not harsh, not bright, just warm enough to remind you that you are being held in a quiet and natural way. I wish you a day where your mind is as light as a still lake. No matter the noise around you, may you keep an inner space to lean on. I wish your heart to be soft enough to open to what is beautiful, and steady enough not to be pulled into what is not meant for you. I wish that whatever is unclear in you today no longer feels like a burden, but becomes a reminder that life always leaves room for you to explore, to grow, and to understand yourself a little more each time. I wish you enough awareness to see opportunity, even in the moments that seem ordinary. Sometimes a small encounter, a gentle sentence, or a moment of quiet can open a new direction. You only need to be present when it arrives. I wish you the ability to pause at the right moment. When your mind starts to tighten, when your shoulders begin to harden, when your thoughts spin too fast, remember that you always have the right to slow down. You do not need to run at any rhythm except your own. I wish you the grace to smile at yourself even for 1 second. The smile is not to hide anything but to acknowledge how far you have come, how much you have carried that others do not see, and how courageously you continue moving forward. I wish you enough peace so you do not feel the need to prove anything to anyone. When you live true to your inner world, everything becomes clear in its own time. Those who need to see you will see you when the moment is right. I wish you enough light to illuminate your own path. You do not need to shine brightly, only enough to take the next step. One step is still progress. And more than anything, I wish you to know that you deserve the gentleness you are seeking. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be strong all day. You only need to be true to yourself and kind to what you are going through. Before we close this part, I want to invite you to leave a small sign for yourself. Just one simple line, "I am ready to change," or even just the number 1 to mark that this morning you were present, you listened, and you chose peace as the beginning of your day. Thank you for being here and for giving your soul the care it deserves. Your presence makes this morning much more beautiful. As this morning gently comes to a close with the warm breath and quiet peace you have been nurturing, I want to offer you a soft invitation, as gentle as sunlight touching the window at dawn. You do not need to carry everything we have just walked through. You only need to keep what made your heart settle and brighten even just a little. Maybe it was a slow breath. Maybe it was a sentence you whispered to yourself. Maybe it was the moment your hand rested on your chest and you realized you are still here, whole and worthy of love. You do not need to change everything in one day. You only need to begin with one small action, one soft intention, one little space that allows you to enter your day without being pulled by invisible weights. And if this morning made you feel lighter, even just a touch, that alone is enough to shape a different kind of day. I want to invite you to turn this moment into a simple ritual of your own. A ritual without rules, without pressure, without the need to get it perfect. Just a space you return to each morning to settle your mind and your heart. If these minutes helped you feel clearer, calmer, or simply kinder to yourself as you begin your day, then I would be grateful to walk with you through the mornings to come. Each day we will take one step together. Some days the step will be long, some days small, some days you will simply stand still and breathe. All of it is right. All of it is part of the journey. No need for perfection, no need for speed, only truth. And if you want to keep nurturing the light within you, come back tomorrow morning. I will be here waiting for you in this quiet space. Before we finish, take 1 second to acknowledge yourself. You took time to care for your own being. You chose peace instead of hurry. You chose presence instead of letting the day carry you unconsciously. And that is something to honor. If you want to mark that you were here this morning, you can leave a small comment like "I'm ready for a gentle day," or simply the number 1. Not for others, but for you, so you know you started your day in a way your soul deserves. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for allowing this morning to touch you in its own way. I wish you a day that is bright, soft, and full of wholeness with yourself. I look forward to seeing you in the next morning.